Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to look at a little bit of introduction to Chinese language. It's not really introduction, but Chinese language for the beginners. Introduction to Chinese language for beginners. This is what we are looking at today. And now I want us to use one of the most simple ways. I don't know if you understand. One of the most simple ways. Of course, we understand that in Chinese we have tones, we have pinyin, we have all those things. We have vowels, we have consonants and all that. But this one is in another lesson. We will make a video for that, of course, but we have already done some of those introductions. So we are looking at Chinese for beginners, students who have already done their introduction level and they have even begun on their basic characters. So technically, what we are going to do today is we are going to look at how to make some simple sentences and how to make them very easy for those beginners. Of course, for some levels, if you are teaching HSK levels, you will start with the words. We are looking at how to connect personal pronouns to simple sentences. And now we are going to look at simple verbs, about 10 of them, and then we are also going to connect them with in a simple way. We are starting with the personal pronouns. So personal pronouns, how do we write personal pronouns? So we have wo, which is basically done this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have ni, which is 1, 2. Then we have ta. These ones are usually drawn 3 times. They are written 3 times. Of course, for the beginners, for HSK1, we have up to 4. But for HSK2 and above, we have the third ta introduced here. We have a she. Then we have an it. So those are the 4 personal pronouns. And then they also have their own plurals. Their plurals are written as follows. So we all, on all of them you just add men. On all of them you add men, and men is drawn this way. Yeah. So on all of these you just add men and you're done. So remember, we said this is for the students who have already done the basics, and we have already actually moved. We are on the now introducing my students to them making simple Chinese sentences. And here, so how do we read this word? So the first word is read as ta. Remember, it's a long tone. Ta, ta. And then now we introduce men to make them plural. So how do we read that? So if it's wo, we say wo men, and then we say ni men, and then we have ta, which is ta men. Okay, so we have wo men, ni men, ta men. Those are plurals. Then singular are wo, ni, ta, wo men, ni men, ta men. So remember, we are not looking at the characters. I've just written the characters so that the students can understand what is going on. But now, let's continue. Let's continue. Okay, sorry for that. I'm not so sure. So we continue, guys. So up to this point, these are the personal pronouns that we look for in Chinese language. Now let's carry on. We are going to look at how do we make this into a sentence. That means we have demonstratives, we have verbs. Those are the main things that we look at in a Chinese language. So you have to understand, where do we have the nouns, where do we have the verbs, and where do we have the what are they called, demonstratives, where are the adjectives and adverbs, and then we will arrange our sentences. So this learner has not yet covered the verbs. But because we need to move and we are writing, we are reading as we are writing, and we are also studying as to use them. So the only way for you to understand how to move about this, you need to understand the basic sentence structures. And some of the basic sentence structures are the ones we are looking at right now. So let's see. From 我, 你, 他, we usually have two words that are very important in your Chinese conversations. The first one is a 是, which means is, are, and am. But mainly I tell my students that these are at, in, and on. And then actions. Actions. Majorly, I tell them this is ing. That's basically, according to me, that's how I tell my students. So I hope we can all understand each other. So when I use the action 在, I just basically mean ing. For example, I'm eating. 我在吃饭. 我在吃饭, I'm eating. So 我在吃饭 is the eating part. 吃饭 in this case is the eating, not eat. Remember we say I ate, I will eat, and I'm eating. So in the case of putting a tense, I usually add 在 to mean ing. I am in the present tense. I don't know if someone is getting me. So from that case, we move forward. Let's move forward. So if you have these two words, we use them to describe. We use these two to describe. Why? I know most of you will not agree with me, but that's the truth. So let me say, I want to describe I am a teacher. 我是老师，我是老师. And if I want to say I am Steve, I will say 我是 Steve, 我是 Steve. So I'm describing myself. Then we have this I want to describe the actions. I want to describe where I am. So I say 我在学校，我在学校. I am at school. 我在家，我在家. I am at home. 我在教室里，我在教室里. I am in class. I want to say I am walking. 我在路上走，我在路上走. I have described two things, where I am and what I'm doing. 我在走，我在走. I'm walking. 我在说，我在说. I am speaking. So technically, what we are doing is describing the actions that we are doing in this case. Okay? So let's continue. So these two will help me to describe what I am doing right now. So this one is going to describe who I am and what I do. And this one is going to describe what I'm doing and where I am. We continue. So a good student should understand that her or his construction of sentences starts immediately they start learning. Remember, this one is 我 你 他们 你们 我们 我是 then blah 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 我在 blah blah blah. Then we say 你是 then you put here 你在 then you put here. So 在 you can put what you're doing or where you are. 是 you can put your title or your name. It's still okay. Then 他在 他是 blah blah blah. Then 他在 and this is also applicable for the plurals. 他们是 他们在 It's that simple. And then from here, now we can continue. I know you would say, so how do I say what I do without knowing exactly the vocabularies of your title, the vocabularies of your occupation? So if you are a student, you'll say 学生 is student. If you are in school, you say 学校 Then if you are a doctor, you say 医生 as a doctor 医生 Then where do you work? 医院 Then if you are say a driver, no, I don't want to use a driver. We can say home, jia for home. Then you can say 父母 are parents. 父母 parents. So these are parents. Then we have home. Then we have hospital. Then we have doctor. So doctor. Then we have school. Then we have student. This one is a student. So student. So up to that point, now you can easily create your sentence. And what is the order of creating your sentence? So from here, the order of creating your sentence, you start with a personal pronoun, which is, I will put them together, 我 你 他 they will be here, the two tas, all the three tas. Then now, what follows is the word she. And then if you want to say, if it was a student, you say 我是学生. If you are a student, you say 我是学生. If you are at school, you say 我在学校. 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 So first of all, let's just use she. Then we go to 在. So we're using she. 我是学生，你是医生，你是医生。Then we have 我是附近，我是附近 father， 我是附近。If it's mother， 我是木镜，我是毛巾，我是毛巾，我是毛巾 I am mother. And if you are a student, if you are a doctor, 我是 if you are a teacher, 我是老师，老师 titles. And even your name, you can put it here. Quite easy. Then from that case, we are still moving forward. So from here, now you can also use Zai. Zai also follows the same order. It's 我, 你, 他. Then now we have Zai. Even the plurals apply. You just use 我们, 你们, 他们, 他们, 他们. Then Zai also the same. 我在, 你在, 他在. Then you just put the places or the actions that you are doing. So if it's the places, the first one is 学校 school. 我在学校 which means I'm at school. Then 我在医院 I'm in the hostel or at the hostel. 我在医院我在家 I'm at home. 我在商店 is also okay. You can still say that. So the most important part is here is a word 在. That is the order. It's a very easy way of making Chinese sentences. What about if it's a verb? You just remove this here and place the verbs. So if you are at school and you are studying, you say 我在学校，我在学校，我在学校。I'm at school. 我在检查，我在检查。检查 is checking. 我在检查。What about if you are at home playing? 我在玩，我在玩，我在玩。Remember this is play. 我在玩。Then what about if you are in the shop buying things? You say 我在买，我在买，我在买。You are buying things. That's how it is. Easy. So guys, creating basic Chinese sentences is one of the easiest things to do. Okay? So our lesson continues from here. So from using the two words, the she and the zai, now we move to how to create same sentences, how to create simple sentences with verbs. Simple sentences will give you two very important verbs. The first one is yao, which means want. Yao, which means want. So want is yao. What about the other want, which is a little bit polite, which is need? It's called xiang. Xiang. Remember this is, xiang is for the beginners. So in the beginners, especially HSK1, we look at these two words. Xiang, which is also need or want but polite. Need or want but polite. So how do we use these two words? Remember, we already have the personal pronouns, which is 我, 你, then finally we have 他, ta. So this ta, I like writing all of them because they are not the same. We have this ta for ladies. Then we have the final ta for eat, things and animals. That ta. So how do we connect these 5 words with yao? Just make sure that we have the word yao at the center. Yao, wo yao, ni yao, cha yao, ta yao, ta yao. Okay. Then now, in front of the word yao, what do we put there? So if you wanted a book, you say 我要书 book 书. If you wanted a pen, you say 笔 pen 笔 pen. If you wanted a bag, you say 包 bao, which is a bag. Bao is a bag, the carry bag. Then if you wanted, say, water, you say 水 水 water 水. What about if you wanted food? You say 饭 饭, which is food food. These are just examples, so that you understand how to use this, how to create your sentences in Chinese. So we have 我 你 他 他 他. Then finally we have the thing you want. 我要书我要笔我要包我要水我要饭. If it's you, you say 你要书你要笔你要包你要水你要饭. Simple, right? And if we want to change to use 想 is also the same way. You just put here 想 想. Same applies. 我想书我想吃饭我想 Chinese sentences, but it's a little bit difficult to use, to memorize the tones and to memorize the words themselves. So your work should be to memorize the words and then just assemble them together, and you practice as you want. Okay guys, so up to this point we were doing the introduction, and the most important verbs that you need to know is how to say I want, I need, and then we go to come and go, then we go to the word like eat and drink, and then we also have the words like come out and go in. Those are very important. You can actually create a whole conversation using these kind of words. So this was our lesson that was already going on, but I hope next time we are going to learn together. And don't forget to follow my page, because on this channel I'll be posting some of the simple, I'm cracking down ways on how to teach Chinese language. So I'll be putting all the lessons together in series of simplified ways of teaching Chinese language, so that you guys can just pick up and start creating your own sentences without so much struggle. So see you. Don't forget to follow. I'll be having all the list of the lessons put there so that you can follow my lessons. Don't forget to like, guys. Don't forget to follow me. Don't forget to share. If you feel that this is important, also don't forget to leave a comment. See you in the next class.